And today, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. And today we will be watching another video by O'Shea Dude Jackson titled "Why Teens Jump Black Guy." Hold on, sorry, I'm illiterate. White teens jump black guy, but they didn't expect this. Now, why would they do such a foolish thing as to try to jump a black guy as a white teen? I don't know, but we're about to find out. Let's get straight into the video, man. Alright, so for like a solid 20-ish or so seconds, I sat there having this video playing without it being on screen until I finally realized and fixed it. So I'm just going to speed that up a little bit so y'all don't have to see that. Chat, why do y'all not tell me when I'm messing up, man? Huh? How y'all just gonna let me play the video and I'm just sitting on my cam the whole time? What are y'all doing, bro? We supposed to be keeping each other accountable, chat. Y'all supposed to be telling me, hey, bro, you know you didn't switch your camera, right? And I'm supposed to be telling you to go fuck yourself. This is how this dynamic works, chat. Y'all supposed to make sure I give y'all proper content, and I'm supposed to give you the middle finger for trying to tell me what to do. What are we doing, bro? Let's act like we have some sense, okay? Let's act like we know what's going on. Let's act like we've been here before. Okay? Damn. Jesus. I gotta start the whole thing over.
The community has seen this viral fight video, and they are demanding city leaders hold the teens responsible. They believe the victim was targeted because he's black.
As a black man, the first black police chief, do you believe that this was a hate crime?
As that nigga say that he's about to pull off some bullshit out of his ass, he better not, bro. I swear he better not.
Imagine you're gonna go out with your friends and enjoy a movie. It's great to be able to do that because movies are fun, popcorn, sodas, you get my drift. You put on your nice church shoes and church socks or whatever the hell you're gonna wear that day, and you head on over there. You get out your car, lock the door, and you're about to walk in. But all of a sudden, there's a mob of people coming towards you. Now, you don't know these people, and in fact, you happen to be the black person there, and the rest of your friends are white. But the white mob is upset with your friend. You don't have anything to do with it at all. But all of a sudden, a fight breaks out. And instead of them beating up your friend, guess who they turn their attention to? You. All of a sudden, you getting your ass whooped all down the street. Here, there, left, right, uppercut. For no reason. You don't even know these damn people. Why the hell they whooping your ass? Damn. But of course,
Life ain't fair, nigga, that's why.
Because this could never happen, especially in a place like Simi Valley, California. Right? Rewind! This is the story of Michael Robinson, an 18-year-old black man that happened to be out with his friends. He got attacked by a group of young men for no apparent.
Michael, bro. I think Michael studied at the KSI University of Foreheads, ain't he? I see you, brother. I see you. More power to you, brother. More power to you.
Reason. And while he was being beaten, he was being called many names. We all heard about the Cincinnati Music Festival, where a group of white people were ultimately beat up by a group of blacks, but we didn't know the context. The context was the whites started the fight
I did not know
first,
about that.
And when they did, well, the blacks went into overdrive. Of course, some innocent people became casualties, but that does happen in fights, even if it's wrong. But once this happened, Vice President J.D. Vance said this.
What I saw is a mob of lawless thugs beating up on an innocent person, and it's disgusting.
He referred to the men as a group of thugs. Now, it's interesting because all of the men that were arrested were black, but the white guy who started the fight didn't get arrested. But of course, when this situation happened with Mr. Michael Robinson, people understood that not many people were talking about it.
4 white teenagers were arrested in Simi Valley, California for beating up on 2 black kids. It's reported that there were more people.
It was 2 of them? I thought it was just Mike and his big ass forehead. Unless they counted his forehead as a second person. Alright, look. I'm sorry, okay? I can't help myself but to make jokes, bro. You can't put a forehead the size of the Eiffel Tower in my face and not expect me to say something, nigga. Damn!
In the group, but right now it's under investigation. MAGA, where you at? Now we need you. Republicans, where you at? Because I guarantee you, you're not going to hear from the president. You're not going to hear from the VP. They're not going to be called lawless thugs. Probably not going to hear anything else about the story.
Now he's saying something that's very interesting. You're not even going to hear anything about the story. And he's calling out people saying, listen, JD Vance, you Republicans, why you guys ain't speaking up? And the reason why he's saying that is because at least at the Cincinnati Music Festival, the white guy started the fight. He actually slapped somebody. And then after that, there was a melee. But in this particular case, Michael Robinson didn't know who the guys were. He had nothing to do with it. He was attacked, viciously beaten. We can't even show it to you here on YouTube. And he was beat up.
I'm going to look up this video. I'm not going to show it because you can't show it on YouTube. Apparently, it's going to go across guidelines. But I'm going to look up this video, and then I'll get back to y'all. I changed my mind. I'm not going to do that.
Really, really bad. But wait, there's more.
While they were jumping the 2 black kids, they also were shouting racial slurs.
Okay, so wait. Who's the other black kid? I only know about this Michael dude that came out. Who's the other black kid? Who's the other black kid? I want to hear his side. What did he experience? You know, I want the pain that he experienced to be told, preferably in an animation.
It's the N-word and X, Y, and Z. And they are trying to find out whether they are going to charge this as a hate crime or not. It's a good thing the kids were arrested, but I guarantee you they're going to be out, and you're not going to hear the narrative spun to be that they were lawless thugs who were targeting anybody. What's crazy is that people love to scream America first until the Americans have a different skin tone.
He said, yeah, we're all Americans until the Americans have a different skin tone. That's right, because when the white kids are beating up on the black young man, well, you know, it was unfortunate, and they are not thugs, right?
He's right, you know.
And other blacks picked up on this.
TikTok is trying so hard to not let my videos do well when talking about this Simi Valley. I just know something's going on. People were calling the Cincinnati situation a hate crime and all this stuff, getting views, going viral, right? And it wasn't a hate crime. As soon as an actual hate crime happens, and black people are trying to talk about it and compare it to what happened in Cincinnati, no views, no nothing, no one gets any traction. What type of is that? I'm confused on how this isn't going more viral. Are white people seeing this and just being like, oh yeah, not interested? They're hitting not interested as soon as they see something that's an actual hate crime?
The young man says here, yeah, this is an actual hate crime. He even blames TikTok for suppressing the views for the video because, again, when it was about these whites getting beat up by these blacks, TikTok had all the time to go head on and promote the videos. Now that it's this young black man, he's accusing TikTok of suppressing the views, which is something I hear a lot of black creators talk about on the app. But what was interesting to me was the young man's testimony to what happened to him.
I yell, I scream, somebody help me. And this whole time when they've been jumping me, I haven't really been getting hit anywhere else except the back of my head and my back.
The young man says, I am asking for somebody to help me. I'm screaming, help me. And the person that was even with him didn't help him. They left him there to get beat up by himself. And oh, by the way, one of the kids is actually a son of a police officer.
Yeah. With all the cops, cuz. Yeah.
We own this. I'm just kidding. Get in the car.
You ain't this far.
Now this is crazy. The son of the cop that's in the clip is actually bragging about the fact that his dad works for the police department. This is very interesting. But that didn't stop the people from Simi Valley to come out in support of Mr. Michael Robinson.
They always come in groups. They're too chicken to fight by themselves.
Talk
We
to
demand
him.
transparency and justice.
Racism is an ever-present and especially present in the town of Simi Valley.
This is a hate crime.
Now, guys, I'm going to be honest. The more I've started to do cultural commentary, I've started to understand the disparity in what happens to blacks in the same situation in comparisons into what happens to whites. A white person can start a fight, and depending on what the outcome is for that white person, well, then the blacks will automatically be called a thug. And that's another way for saying the N-word. But because they're saying thug, you can't really pin on them that they're saying the N-word. But at the same time, when it's white kids beating up somebody black, the conservative media will not touch the story at all. Fox News won't touch the story. Any of these other people, Jason Whitlock, won't touch the story. Any black conservative commentator, Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, won't touch the story.
Nope.
I mean, and that's what you expect to happen. But at the same time, whenever something like this happens to a white person and it's the blacks, it doesn't matter even if it's taken out of context. That means the white person can start the fight. The white person can be the aggressor. And if the blacks respond, then the blacks will get arrested. And in the case of the Cincinnati Music Festival, the white person who started the fight will not get arrested. And these are the situations and disparities in societies that cause protests and even riots. And I was around in LA when the Rodney King riot was going forth. I was there, right? And it was not nice. I believe it was like 1991, 92. The same potential thing could happen again, and we're still talking about the same thing in 2025. A lot of blacks are just moseying on along because you have a great job, you have a great career, you have access to money, and somehow that makes you equal in the system. That's what we want to believe. We want to believe that these prejudices are not there anymore. And the reason why we want to believe that is because through our own work ethic and our own dedication, we don't have to worry about this because opportunities are there. If I want to start a YouTube channel or a business or collaborations, then the prejudice is not there. So what are you talking about? I can work myself into whatever I want to work in, but that does not equal the ideology of racist free. It just doesn't. Look at Mr. Michael Robinson. I mean, it's probably not too many blacks in Simi Valley. He's a very well-spoken young man. Living in Simi Valley as a black person, actually quite rare. Only 1.47% of blacks live in Simi Valley at all. And he's one of them, okay? It's dominated by whites and Hispanics. That just lets you know what Simi Valley is all about. And keep in mind, they do have an African-American or Black American police chief. But you still got to understand, even with those numbers, you are not equal according to the law. And they keep showing us this. And we just got to understand that the world is starting to show blacks how it feels more and more every day. Don't conflate the fact that you're a valuable black person to a business or to an industry that they like you and want to be around you and care for you. Don't confuse the two. You'll always have, other races that can appreciate you and that can be friendly with you. But the world hasn't changed its stance on black people. We're not going to be accepted in the way that you think we are. And until you realize that, we're going to still keep getting let down when you see the disparities between us and other groups. You're always going to feel slighted. I don't feel slighted anymore. I understand this is how it is, which means that, like Dr. Claude Anderson said, blacks must come together or what? Suffer the consequences. We will indeed suffer the consequences. Whites are going to become more emboldened. They're not going to do it like they're going to become more emboldened. All right. The whites are going to continue to tell blacks more often how they feel. They're going to show their bias against blacks. Those who really don't like it, you will find it with the words like thugs, basically not giving context to things, not being fair, not being balanced. You're going to see that. At the same time that the whites are being unbiased, we have a lot of blacks who are trying to be biased and trying to give, whites a pass and things like that. It's not going to work. In my honest opinion, whites are feeling the pressure from immigration. They're feeling the pressure from interracial marriages. And a lot of them are doing a whole bunch of things getting more extreme, return to the land, and those projects are getting supported. Right now in politics, being favorable to extreme bases is where the world is going, especially in places like the UK, the United States, and a lot of European places. Blacks have to wake up and smell the coffee. We come together now or suffer the consequences. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea D. Jackson. Back at
Yeah, man. I don't think personally that he said a whole lot of nonsense, right? That's me speaking objectively from a black person who lives, a black immigrant, right, who lives in the United States, right? Objectively, I haven't seen any sort of blatant racism, right? I've seen certain people, I'm not gonna say what race, but certain people have made it an objective to avoid interacting with me, right? Doesn't bother me one bit. That just means you leave me alone to do what I gotta do and make my way how I want to make my way. So I'm actually grateful when people avoid me, regardless of their reasoning. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. What another grown man or woman decides to do with their life should not matter. But when it comes to a place that you're living in and you're constantly surrounded by these people, it will matter. Okay? So I think it's best if I'm not going to say that because that was about to be some nonsense, right? I think it's best if not only do we come together as a community, right? The black community, not only do we come together as a community and understand that if we do not support each other with the best of our abilities, we will lose any sort of racial war that's going on. I would like to think that there's no racial war going on, but I'm also not an idiot that's oblivious to the way that the world is going, right? At least in America. I'm not an idiot and I'm not oblivious to it, although I try to avoid looking directly into the sun, so to speak. I see it, okay? So if we can't come together as a community, we're already a minority in the United States, right? So if we cannot come together as a community and help each other out to try to survive in this current climate, right, the direction that the world is going in, we're going to lose. We're going to fail. And on the most extremist case, we end up back 400 or 500 years ago. Nobody wants to be there. That's only in the most of extremist of cases, though. I don't actually think we're ever going to reach that point before the end of time. Because the way the world is going, bro, the end times are upon us, chat. The way the world is going, we're probably not going to make it to see 2100, right? There. Yeah. The way the world is going, at least. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, man. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Who knows when that's going to be? Who knows what it's going to be? But it'll be coming up pretty soon, man. Peace.